Welcome to the Sam and Billie Show,
Brought to you by Crowd Network.
Hello.
Just quickly check your phone. I've just sent you a picture of what I've just done to my toe. That's just happened.
Oh my goodness, Samantha. How?
Honestly, I'm sitting here. Well, I'm sitting on my chair. It's like 4 legs. Sorry.
It's like a Halloween.
Just so you know how much it hurts, I've lifted the chair up to pull it in.
You've ripped your toe now.
And then I've sat back on the chair with my toe under the chair.
Samantha, that's bad.
Throbbing. It is like...
Oh,
I feel like my foot's fallen off.
There's no worse pain than when you stub your toe. That's like the worst pain ever.
I've got a pack of bird's eye peas on my foot right now.
Samantha.
Anyway, apart from that, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Go on.
Apart
So,
from your
how's
toe.
your week? Apart from my toe, yeah. I'm good.
I've had one of those weeks this week, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, we got back from holiday Saturday, didn't we? And
Yep.
actually, it's just been one of those weeks, you know, like where you feel like everything's against you, everything's sort of going wrong, or everything.
no.
It's just been quite stressful.
Oh, no.
It's just been one of those weeks. I'm really happy that it's Friday. Like this morning, I went to the kids. Woohoo! It's Friday!
Yeah. Friday.
Look, Friday. I was like Friday, but nothing like nothing terrible's happened at all. I've had a stressful week, and I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad it's the weekend.
Do you want to offload? Well, no, I'm saying, do you want to offload your stressful week? Little bits of it, or...
No,
Actually, how's Margo? Because that's the most important. Tell me about Margo.
Yes. So, Margo, this has obviously been the most, like, sort of worrying thing. So, obviously, you know, like any of us with your children, especially because she's still so little, Margot's had a cold, but she's had a bit of a croupy cough. So, Arthur actually had croup when he was younger. He wasn't as young as Margot, but if anyone, like, knows what like croup is like, or if their child's had it, it's almost like a barking cough. It's horrible. It just sounds not very nice. So she's had a bit of a croupy cough, but that only, like, she's coming out of that now. She only had it for a couple of days, and she's been really sicky with it, like loads of phlegm. But actually that's quite good, because the phlegm's getting off of her chest, you know, like it's like getting out of her stomach. Because that's the thing with babies, where they don't know obviously how to blow their nose, the phlegm sits in their bellies and it gives them a tummy upset, so it makes them really sicky.
Well, yeah, because if Edward's sick, it's usually like snot. It looks like snot in the sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like mucusy. Yeah,
Mucus,
it's like slimy almost. Yeah,
that's it.
So that's been quite stressful, and I had 2 nights of zero sleep, zero sleep. But another thing, like with Margot, what's happened this week, which has actually been a relief and a weight lifted off my shoulders. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned on here before, Margot is on a they basically, when she was about 5 weeks, they thought she had cow's milk protein allergy, where the milk that I was, like the formula I was giving her, wasn't really agreeing with her. So they thought it was cow's milk protein allergy. So anyway, I kind of wasn't convinced, you know, like you just think, I don't know if it is that. I think she's just maybe got reflux. But anyway, so I finally got an appointment this week with a specialist, where I took Margot to have an allergy test. So it's so mad. Like they write all the letters of the different, what they're testing for. So it's like peanut allergy, prawn, dairy, tomatoes, all different things. They write the letters down their fires, each of their fires, and they do like this little. It's so cute. Like, I know it sounds cute, but it is like a little fire. She was so good. Like she just sat there, and then it's not like a pinprick. It's like they get like this little like square metal thing, and they just sort of press down on the thigh, and then they drop each of the different solutions, which is like pure, like dairy or whatever it might be. Anyway, so we done that. It turns out she's got no allergies. She hasn't got cow's milk protein allergy, which I'm really happy about.
Oh, so she doesn't need that potato smelling milk anymore.
Well, so although we've eliminated that, because that's the thing with babies, it's like elimination, isn't it? Because they can't tell you what's actually wrong. So they've changed her onto a different formula, which is a better formula than what she had. So the specialist thinks she'll be more settled on it. But in 3 weeks' time, I then have to put her back for 3 days onto normal formula. And if she becomes unsettled again, then we know she's just got an intolerance, a dairy intolerance, which means and Nellie and Arthur had that as well, actually. So it just means that you slowly introduce dairy into their diets as they get older. But one thing that's really interesting, which I actually wanted to share with everyone, so he's recommended that I start, and he's like a pediatric allergy food specialist, like, the sort of, the person you would really rely on their, what they're telling you. He's recommended that I start weaning her from 4 months. Yeah, he said that a lot of health visitors will tell you now that it's 6 months, but he's recommended, he said 4 months is a really good time to start weaning a baby. And because she's suffering with reflux, it's going to really help keep everything down.
Yeah. Well, they say, I mean, it's quite controversial, isn't it? Because I gave Edward some tasty bits at 4 or 5 months. But I think the reason why, like, health advisors would say 6 months is only because I think their gut is not fully formed yet. But you're not going to be giving them 4 or 5 meals a day. It's probably like a little spoon of something just to kind of different tastes or...
Obviously, it's got to be, like the right thing. I haven't even...
Of course.
I mean, it's been so long since I've done weaning, but you'd have to... You need to research to what exactly you can give them. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting because I know before, I remember when you said you'd given Edward some food when he was 4 months, people were like questioning like what you was doing.
Yeah, they was like, it should be 6. I understand why they advise 6 because their gut and their stomach's so small, but Edward's so ready, he's such a hungry baby. It was like I needed to pack out a little bit more at that point. But and Edward loves his food now. I mean, you've seen him, he enjoys, he eats so much stuff.
The spaghetti bolognese on holiday.
Oh, he loves it. I just am still a little bit chop really small because some parents are so relaxed and they had the soft bit finger food. He gags even on a bit of melon and I'm like staring, waiting for it to come back up. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, but it's all part of the learning and they genuinely are okay, but I just get anything to do with eating and the throat. And
I'd be, I'm exactly the same. Everything's like pureed for about a year.
Sorry, when I disappear, it's because I'm moving the peas around the toe. So sorry.
You're seeing to your toe.
I might have broke it, I might have broke my toe on the podcast. Oh. Okay, so that's good. So Margot's got no allergies and you're trying her with a new milk and hopefully it will stop the sickiness and you'll get some more sleep.
Well, this is it. This is the ultimate goal. But also, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, obviously, I've started a little bedtime routine with her, like, kind of like bath.
Oh, yeah. And how's that happening? How's that going?
Well, good. But it's just hard, isn't it? When you've got... Yeah. So, like, you really want to do the bath time at, like, 6:30? I don't know, 6:30, 7 for the baby. But then you might still be clearing up from dinner. Or dinner's run over. Or the kids have got clubs. And it's really difficult, I think, to... stick to for me personally, like with my lifestyle and obviously even my filming schedule and work schedule, like I know you have just got to be really strict, but I mean it's I'm trying to do the bath and bottle at the same sort of similar time every night, but I think it's nice because I think she knows. Well, I don't know if she does know actually. She didn't tell me she knows. But it's quite nice because I suppose it's more for like us as well, because then it's like when like winding down bedtime, but I like to go to bed with her.
Yeah, well obviously you are doing this a little bit sooner than I did, but when I got to that stage where I can actually lay Edward to bed, usually he doesn't even make 7 o'clock. Like he's so exhausted, it's almost like sometimes 6:45 or 6:30, and then once Edward's in his cot in bed with the door shut, you do have the whole evening to yourself. Look, Edward doesn't sleep through the night. I'm not saying because he doesn't, but I get to at least, way past when I get into bed until he wakes up for milk. And he can go through the night, but I am still giving him a feed in the middle of the night because that's just what's happening at the moment. I haven't really mastered all through the night yet, but... You will get there, and it is nice because then you can sort of see to the other two properly, settle them into bed before you can go and sit and watch telly or do whatever it is that you want to do for a few hours. Well, mind you, I'm usually tired, but you get a good couple of hours child free, and that's like that's quite life changing. When you've been doing the baby night routine thing for so many months. It's like, oh, I can't believe I got my evenings back.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is.
Listen to this. This is funny. Speaking of evenings, I went for dinner, not last night, the night before, just locally to the restaurant we usually go to in Cobham, my friend's birthday, and I honestly didn't even have that much makeup on. It was just like lashes, the usual, nothing like over the top or anything like that. I just done it myself. And I come down the stairs and Paul, I was giving Edward a cuddles in his sleeping bag, like before I was going out for dinner. He stared at me for ages, was looking at me, and then he burst into tears. And then he went like that to Paul, put his arms out to Paul to take him. We was laughing so much. I was like, oh no. It was like he didn't recognise me, or was the eyelashes and there wasn't even big eyelashes, I wouldn't mind, but he was like staring at me, and then he just burst into tears.
Do you think he knew he must have known you was going out? He must have
I think it was the eyelashes. I think it was the makeup. What I'm thinking is, I think it was the makeup, but I promise you it wasn't even that much. He was literally
hilarious.
He was staring into my eyes, looking at my eyelashes.
He might associate that with you going. He might have thought,
yeah, but I don't.
Mummy's got.
It's like once in a blue moon, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. But and then Rosie was laughing. Rosie was like, I think it's your eyelashes. He thinks they're spiders. But we was laughing because I was like, but he was completely so sad, and then wanted Paul to take him. I was going, it's mummy. But it was
oh, bless
just
him.
sprung to mind. I know. But,
how was Edward's first swimming lesson?
Oh
no.
So,
oh no.
I don't know how much I can go into it, but it was it was not what we thought it was going to be.
Not that great by the sounds of things.
It wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be. It was just like, you know, and we got
What
there
happened?
and we was the
Edward
only
didn't
ones.
like it.
No, Edward was fine. It was, you know, and Big Paul got in the swimming pool with him, and I was on the sidelines
Spectating.
and it was a pool house in a house, if you know what I mean. But we was the only ones there, and I obviously was joining for a class, not to be a one-on-one. He's a baby. He wants the singing, the music, the other baby interaction, you know, like...
Yeah.
I used to do it at Paul and Rosie. But anyway, so... And this one's quite close. I was like, oh, it's great, because Edward hates being in the car. Have I told you this?
Yeah, and he
cannot be in the car seat. He will not sleep, and he just screams when he's in his car seat. So I thought I've got to find something close by. Anyway, we was the only ones there, so it was just like awkward. And Paul was in the swimming pool, and it was just like the woman's phone wasn't working, so she had no music. So she was like, "Oh, do you mind if I sing a cappella?" And it was just, and then she didn't know the nursery, and then she didn't know the words to the songs, and I was like sitting there, do you know when you're just like, oh.
I would love to have been in plan. What, she just started singing like while Paul was in the pool.
Yeah.
What was Big Paul doing?
Well, every time Paul was like swinging round to get my eye contact, he was like looking at me like wide-eyed. It was just...
But did he see the funny side of it, or was he bugged out?
No, he did see the funny side of it, but he was like... He couldn't believe how random the whole situation was. And
that is really funny.
It was hilarious. My eyes were like filled up with tears. You know, you just like can't hold it in. But yeah, it was just a little bit,
so
I don't know. I think we might see what else is around.
You know what you need to do? I think is it Water Babies? That's what I did.
One.
It's like
so
a
Water
certain
Babies
one.
Is amazing. That's the one I done with.
Yeah, that's the one that does all the singing, and I took nearly an hour to that.
So that's the one I done with Paul and Rosie, and they actually sent me a list of their swim. But I need to find something that they haven't got one that's really close to where I live, and I just don't want to be travelling half an hour. You know, like it's just Edward.
Yeah. It's
so
hard.
anyway, that was eventful. Very funny. So go on, carry on. What else have you been up to? What else has made your week quite stressy?
Right. So this is not stressy at all, but this is like,
yeah.
Right. So basically, obviously, you know, I've got my Chapter B home range.
Yes.
Really excited.
Oh, I saw that. I saw your Chapter B posted on Instagram that it was on this morning with Holly and Phil.
Yes, right. So this is what I'm getting to. So
right, okay.
Anyway, so they go around and they do like the lady showing. I think it was like spring, like how to like brighten up your home for spring. Anyway, so Chapter B had a feature on it. So they're going around to all the different like brands, whatever. And then they come to my brand. They're like, Oh, and then we've got Chapter B by Billie Fair's range here, and I'm like really excited. I've got my phone, like, you know, like you want to record it on the TV, because Xanthi, like Xanthi's my manager, she quickly messaged me and went, quick, put ITV on. And so I put it on and I'm like, oh my God, it's Chapter B. Anyway, so I got my phone out ready to record it. They come round. There was like some of the glasses, the frame, a cushion, a vase. Anyway, so they come round. They was like, oh, like she starts sort of talking about it. Anyway, so Phil picks up a glass and she goes, so this is just right. Like, I think you probably get 30 seconds anyway. He picks up the glass and he goes, didn't one of these get smashed earlier in rehearsal, right? And then the camera pans away.
Why does he do things like that?
Pans away from my collection, right? So now my whole 30-second feature is featured on a smashed vase that accidentally got dropped during the rehearsal, right? You know, when you're like, right, so I'm having a bit of a bad week anyway, but I thought, oh, this is good. Like, really excited about the Chapter B on this morning, the feature.
I didn't see that.
It was like, right, honestly. And I felt, you know, when you're like, my mouth was like, jaw hit the floor, because I thought, so basically the camera panned down to the smashed vase, they spoke about the smashed vase, and then it panned down to the smashed vase, right? Yeah. So
is that for real?
Rather than like, but so basically, like, so my little 30-second feature for my homeware collection was completely taken away from me because Phil decided to bring up the smashed vase, what happened in rehearsal. So the camera went to that, and then next thing you know, they move on to the next one. I was literally, you know, and you're like,
oh my God,
another thing this week. You know, you just think, I was so irritated because I thought, rather than like actually just talking about the nice things that were in front of them.
No, but
they spoke about.
I think he's got it in for you because do you remember?
He has.
For no reason. Do you remember
the
wedding when we sat live on TV and he was like picking the wedding to pieces and we was like, jeez, all right.
Oh no, he asked me how much the wedding cost, didn't he? He wanted to know
who asked
how much
question?
My wedding was. And I think because I was so shocked. I was like, I couldn't believe he was asking me how much my wedding cost. And then
That's just like saying, oh, how much does your house cost, Phil? Just don't ask questions like that. I just think that, don't worry, that's the least of your worries. But I think anyone watching that, I haven't actually watched it, but to hear it back like that, it just seems like quite bitchy to do that. You know, like, come on.
We're just
why bring up the smashed
retracted.
Vase?
It was like my little 30 seconds of my little homeware brand, like just to be, you know, showcased on ITV, which is a great slot to have. And I was just like, I can't believe he's just done that. It's complete. And listen, I don't know if it was intentional or what. I was just so bugged out because I thought, oh, now they're on to the next thing all of a sudden.
I just think, like, intentional or not, I think that's like really unfair.
I know. I was so irritated. You know, you're just like, oh, another thing this week that's not gone my way. Anyway,
don't worry. Honestly, Your Chapter B range is amazing and it's going to smash it. Pardon the pun. And
pardon the pun.
Pardon the pun. So don't worry about it. It's okay.
And then I felt really silly. I just put my phone down because I thought, oh, can't post that. That weren't much of a feature.
Well, you could.
No, I just didn't bother in the end.
You could just put you should post it, put a big thumbs up and say, thanks, Phil, for highlighting the fact that one of your staff members smashed my vase in rehearsals. You know, like, it's just so, it's like, that doesn't, it's actually just doesn't even, I would never do that to someone. If it was Kate Middleton's chandeliers or something, he would never have done that.
Absolutely no way. Well, that would have been more of a story, not a little Chapter B vase.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway.
So
what else has been going on this week?
Well, obviously I feel like, because I spoke to you, didn't I, on Monday?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my pictures. Oh my gosh, my toe
is hurting
so much. Oh, my toe. Oh, so how was your photo shoot? Didn't you do a In the Style shoot? I see that on Instagram. Looked amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it was really good. It was just like a new mum, back in the swing of things. It's kind of like active wear. I was going to take Margot with me, and then I spoke to Mum and I was like, Mum, are you free? Because I thought, do you know what? Where she's 12 weeks today, Margot. She's awake. You know what it's like. They wake up.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they?
It just changes now, doesn't it? Everything starts changing.
Changes. So Mum kindly looked after her for me.
Yeah.
Oh God, I needed Prosecco tonight. I've been so stressed out a week. I've not even been able to have a glass of. I needed Prosecco tonight.
You need to,
Sorry, yeah. So I need to unwind.
You do.
Mum had Margot for me, so I went to the shoot. I was done by 2:00. I'm always like, right, come on, let's go. Let's just get it done. And Margot was really good for Mum. She said she was just like cuddles
so cute.
And everything else.
I saw her on Mum's Instagram.
Yeah, no, Mum said she was really good. She didn't sleep. Mum was like, she's a little catnapper. I was like, I know. This episode is brought to you by Skin and Me.
You guys always get in touch with the podcast and ask us about our skincare and what tips we have. So, we want to tell you all about our sponsor, Skin and Me. It's a personalised skincare solution tailored specifically for you and your skin's needs.
Skin and Me uses powerful active ingredients that you can't buy over the counter, and they target your specific skin concerns, which can be anything from acne to signs of ageing and more.
All you need to do to get started is take an online consultation, share some filter-free selfies, and their expert dermatology team will tailor a personalised solution that evolves with your skin and targets your skin goals.
And then it all comes packaged up in one product, the Daily Doser. The Daily Doser gives you the exact amount of cream you need each night, and it feels even more personalised because the tube even has your name written on it.
Also, all Skin and Me's products are sustainable, vegan and cruelty-free, which we love.
So we have a discount code for you. You can get your first month for just £3.50 with the code SAMANDBILLIE, where it is normally $24.99 per month.
And you can reformulate your solution at any time for free as your skin evolves.
So to get started with Skin and Me, just visit their website, skinandme.com, and use code SAMANDBILLIE to get your first month for just £3.50.
Let's read out one of these dilemmas. Okay. My sister is 18 months older than me. We grew up together, did everything together, and was recently my maid of honour when I got married in December. However, I don't think she really likes me. I'm always searching for that close connection, hoping to be best friends, but it never really happens. Aww. Throughout the wedding planning, she didn't help with much, didn't come to any dress fittings, in brackets I had to go alone, and didn't even congratulate me when we got engaged. Just sent a text saying, oh, kiss. She recently bought her first home and got a puppy, and I've been nothing but excited for her. She never engages in conversation with me or seems to want to ask questions about how I am or what I've been up to. It's always a conversation on her terms about her, with little effort on her end. At my birthday now, a year before the wedding, she told me I wasn't going to be one of her bridesmaids when she gets married. Brackets, she's not engaged yet. This ruined my birthday for me and made me cry. I didn't say anything. I waited to cry in the car and not cause an argument. Do I carry on trying to make a relationship with her? It really upsets me. I wish she loved me, but I just don't feel that vibe. She's my sister, and I want her in my life, but am I wasting my breath? As two close sisters, what do you advise I should do?
That is so sad.
I mean, I don't even know what to say there. I can't even imagine why the sister doesn't want to.
It's quite shocking.
It's actually like really awful. Like, what is her sister's problem with her?
I feel like because you're family and your sisters, you absolutely have to say, look, we really need to talk, and you need to get this off your chest and be honest with your sister and lay all your cards on the table. And I don't know what her reaction will be, but that's so sad.
At this point, she's got nothing to lose. If she's not giving anything back anyway, you've got nothing to lose to confront and speak to her about all this stuff that she's written. This message to us is what she should speak to her about. But also the parents, like, what about your mum and dad? Like, do they notice it? Like, you know, they must do. That's just, everything about that is just really awful and actually quite nasty, don't you think?
Really awful. I mean, it's very, very difficult for us to even comprehend this because obviously we are so close, but I feel like maybe the other, like maybe the sister's got some kind of, there's obviously some kind of issue there, isn't it? Because you don't treat people like that, and you don't, especially not your sister. You don't be so heartless to be mean and nasty, and like to make a point of saying when you're not even engaged, you won't be my bridesmaid when I get married. Like, that's horrendous. Like, I've never known anyone to be so nasty like that. It's really.
And the thing is, obviously, you can see that she really wants a relationship with her, but I don't care how close that person is to you, whether it's family or a friend. If they're being that horrible to you, then they don't deserve you as a person in their life. So, you know, you're obviously happily married now, and you'll always be there if she needs you, but actually maybe you are wasting your breath, and just withdraw for a little while and see if she comes to you, because she's obviously got something going on in her life, or there's some kind of resentment there or something, because that's not normal behaviour at all, especially if there's nothing that's really happened.
9 times out of 10, I think when people behave like that and are so mean and like nasty to someone else, it's usually because they're unhappy, or it's their issue.
Absolutely. It's like a reflection of what's going on in their own life, and they try and put it on somebody else.
I do think sit down and lay your cards on the table and like ask your sister and tell her how you're feeling, basically.
Oh, right. Okay. So ask us anything. Right, you go. We'll pick one each. Right, you go.
Okay. Have you bought any spring clothes yet? And what kind of style do you think you'll go for? Ooh, I mean, I haven't really. I bought a few bits for holiday. Nothing spectacular. But actually, I was thinking this the other day because I felt like I was pregnant the whole of last year. So my wardrobe was quite limited, like maternity stuff. But I'm really looking forward to... I need to jazz my wardrobe up for spring. Like, all I wear is leggings and a sweatshirt. I've mixed it up today. I've got leggings and a shirt and a vest on. But I'm actually leggings, so bored of my style. I know. But that's all I wear. Is that all you wear?
Yeah, but I do think, where are we going? Like, unless you're going for like a work meeting, or, you know, if you was to go for lunch, then yeah, make the effort. But actually, you're doing school run, or you're indoors, or you're working from home. It's like, you might as well be comfortable. What's the point in dressing up?
This is exactly what I feel like. I'm like, where am I going? Where am I going to wear them shoes or them jeans? Like, exactly. I haven't worn jeans for about a year.
Well, actually, on spring, I actually wore jeans for my friend's dinner the other night. So I bought from H&M, really cheap, this really nice pair of pink little shoes and a pink jumper. And then I put it with a pair of light jeans, like sort of high-waisted jeans that sort of like then sat over the shoe. And it was a really comfortable, nice, like spring.
Nice
outfit. It was just, you know, like colour. You know, like I don't tend to have pink in my wardrobe. And it was so nice to wear pink. Like, I never wear pink.
Yeah, colour. I always wear brown, black, beige.
Yeah, it was nice to have a pop of colour. And I actually posted it on my story today, the outfit, and it's had so many likes, like hearts, you know, like, because I think it's actually quite nice to get to, and then it's only H&M as well, so it's all really affordable on High Street. But yeah, I need to get a couple new bits for this spring, I think.
Yeah, same here. Shopping. I need like some colour in my wardrobe. Yeah. But also, I don't know about you, but a colour in my life. I never go shopping anymore. I just do online. I never ever walk around a shop. But I feel like I need to walk around a shop. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, there's something quite nice about actually, because we don't have the time to, but maybe we should do a day. And do some like spring shopping or something. Right, okay, so how do you deal with criticism? Oh, so this is funny actually. So I posted, so when we went to Abu Dhabi, part of the trip we was working with the tourism board. So we had some social media to do, didn't we? Yeah. And one of my social media posts was about the Etihad flight. And I posted the flight. So I posted, and then I didn't even speak about, because obviously the seats that we had, that Etihad had provided, were business class seats, which obviously is amazing, and very grateful, but I was also there to do a job. Anyway, so I'd posted just about Edward on that 7.5 hours coming home, Edward didn't actually sleep until the last half hour, like we spoke about, the last hour rather. And he'd obviously cut his 2 top teeth like a couple of days prior. So it was just a really long flight. And I was just basically talking about flying with babies and toddlers, more to do with that rather than speaking about, you know, being in business class, which I wouldn't do anyway. I'm just not like that. Anyway, it got so many people commenting. Like, I mean, it was a bit of a mixture, but so many people were like, "Oh, try doing that in economy," and
have
you
done
know,
1,000 times.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, "Are you actually kidding me?" Like, yes, I've flown business a few times, but only not every time I fly is business.
No.
Like, come on, it's like once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon, yeah, because that was part of the job.
Yeah, and I don't used to think, I really can't bother to explain myself, but it was like, you know, like some people commenting saying things like, oh, look at you showing off in your business class flight, which I wasn't, by the way. I was talking about Edward's teeth. There's an earthquake going on and you're in business class, and I was just like, you just can't win.
The thing is, you can't win. You're always going to get it, and this is what sometimes really does annoy me about social media, because you know, I get it as well, and like the answer to the question, like what they're asking, how do we deal with it? You do just have to see past it and ignore it. You do just have to, but it is frustrating, because it's like, I feel like sometimes, like, I've worked really hard, same as you, to get what we've, you know, to have what we've got and to do what we do. We've worked hard for it. We've not sat around twiddling our thumbs, trust me. Like,
no, it's 24/7.
It's been hard work.
Yeah.
And it's 24/7. And we both have 3 children as well. So we juggle, and it is a juggle and sometimes a struggle. And I think, like, you're not even allowed to sometimes celebrate, or I question myself, like thinking, can I post that, or should I post? But then I think, hold on a minute, like, we should be allowed to also, we're very, like, down to earth and relatable, and you know, and we're just normal girls, but you are allowed to sometimes celebrate the things that we have or that we
and it was funny because there was so many people like basically saying bore off to like the Karens that were commenting, like loads of people.
Yeah, you do get that, and then they start arguing with each other.
Yeah, so there was more support than the trolls, but I just was like, you just can't win. I was like, you know,
you can't.
I had to post the flight because it was part of the job that we was there to do with the tourism board, and then I didn't want to speak about it being business, because I did think, I'm just not like that anyway, I'm not going to boast about a business class seat. So I thought, you know what, I will speak about the fact that I didn't sit down for a second, you know, like, so then you think you're sort of being more,
it's relatable, and people like the honesty.
And anyway, so how I dealt with that was, I was so tired as well. This was like the night after we got home, I think, or the second night, and I was quite jet lagged and I just couldn't keep my eyes open. I thought, I'm disabling the comments, because I let it go on for a few hours, but in the end I thought, I actually won't be able to sleep if I know this is continuing through the night, so I just turned the comments off. And the new press articles did run the story, obviously the negative side, not the positive side.
They always do.
They always do. And I just thought, whatever. I was like, whatever, basically. But I didn't lose sleep over it, thankfully, because I was so tired.
Exactly. And also, you know, at least like Etihad will be happy. A bit of press, isn't it?
Yeah.
No bad press. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? I do think sometimes it is so frustrating that,
well, you just say you can't win, isn't it? Because,
but also I do think that we do share like everything, the good and the bad, and I think unfortunately the world that we live in, everyone's opinionated, and people just sometimes want to just be negative, don't they? It's quite sad, really.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, I definitely think I broke my toe, so I will give you an update on that next week.
Well, I hope your toe feels better.
Thank you so much. Really hurts. Okay, well, I love you lots. Have a good weekend. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Crowd Network, a place where you belong.